Unit 4, Lesson 7, Practice Problems number 4. Draw a tape diagram to represent the question, what fraction of 2.5 is 4/5? Then find the answer. Alrighty, we did some of this in class. What fraction of 2.5 is 4/5 is a multiplication equation like this. How much of 2.5 is 4/5? It's also the division equation, 4/5 divided by 2.5 equals question mark. Remember, this means how many is how we've been thinking of it. How many 2.5s fit into 4/5? 2.5 is bigger than 4/5, so it's not going to fit. So it's more like how much of 2.5 is 4/5, or what fraction of 2.5 is 4/5. So we're asked to draw a tape diagram. Whoops. We're going to draw both tapes. I think this is the easier way to represent it. So we have 2.5 and we have 4/5. This can get hard. It's a little bit difficult to draw 2.5 to see where to put the lines. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to draw 2. That's 2. Now it's easier to sort of draw a half. If that's 2, a half would be about there. So we've got 2.5. Let's see how we did. That's about a half. So when drawing 2.5, it's easier to draw the whole numbers and then the fraction, 2.5. So on top we have 2.5. On the bottom we need 4/5. If we're drawing fifths, we need 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4/5. What fraction of 2.5 is 4/5? So our 4/5 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put our whole numbers up here so we don't get lost. One, oops, 2, here's a half, 2.5. What fraction of 4/5? What fraction of 2.5 is 4/5? Excuse me. So it's probably not super easy just to look at it and see. But if we split everything up into fifths, might get easier. So we got 1, These should be straight lines. They're not very straight. But these are our fifths. Let's remember what our whole numbers are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, that's not even what our whole number is. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In a half, how many fifths are there? That's kind of confusing. In a whole, there are 5. So in a half, there's 2 and a half. Which is going to make things tough. 1, 2. This is a half of a fifth. A half of a fifth. A half of a fifth is an eighth. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, 12 and a half. 4, 12 and a halves. That's confusing, right? It's fraction inside of a fraction. So if this makes sense, we can multiply both of these by 2. And we get 8 25ths. 12 and 12 is 24. Half and a half is 1. 24 plus 1 is 25. 8 25ths. If this is confusing, which I imagine it is, remember that this is a half of a fifth. So if we make all of these half of fifths, now each little rectangle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, whoops, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And now the orange is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 25. 8 25ths. This one was also very challenging. So if you had a hard time with it, that's okay.